And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review. Today we are reviewing The Last of Us. Yes, this game is considered probably one of the best video games ever made by many people. It was released in 2013 on the PS3. It's gotten a remaster on both the PS4 and the PS5, and also got a sequel in 2020 that I probably will never play. I didn't buy this game. My brother, I think, stole it from one of his roommates in college. I cannot confirm that, though. All I know is when he took the PS5 to college last fall, it wasn't in their games that he took. But when he came back, it was there. That's all I know, okay? We can set it up all for interpretation otherwise. But anyway, I played it, and, I think a lot of people are not going to agree with some of the points I'm going to make in this review, because a lot of people would give this game an easy 10 out of 10, no questions asked, that have played it at least. I'm going to tell you after right off the bat, I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10. Because, well, let's just jump into the review, shall we? This game, I didn't really know what to expect with this game, pretty much. I've heard of the game, obviously, who hasn't, but I really never thought about playing it until now, obviously. It just doesn't seem like my thing, but, there's some things that definitely attached me more than I originally thought. This game, though, is really two main things: cutscenes and stealth missions. First off, the cutscenes. It establishes the story. The story is definitely the strong suit of this game. I mean, it's really it's really not a question that it is definitely the part of this game that people think of. And the story is good. I cannot deny. The story is pretty good. The characters are good. There's definitely a lot of good plot points and whatnot that are really good to work through. The thing with me, though, is that zombie outbreak stories are nothing new. They have been done in books, they have been done in movies, and also video games, like we're talking about here. So to me, the whole premise just wasn't super original. Now, obviously, a lot of the stuff that they explore, they definitely put their own spin on it. It's definitely not just a copy of a different story, but I don't know, it still didn't feel 100% original. And that's going to be a kind of a controversial take, I think. But it is my take. It is my opinion. It's still a good story. I cannot lie that it's a good story. But what's been said about the story, what has not been said about the story that I could say here? Pretty much not anything else. I really liked it, though. It really was the only thing keeping me in this game, as long as I did play it. It was, and really, but even a story this good was not strong enough to fully captivate me in this game, because the stealth missions are boring as shit. I had just played Spider-Man 2 before going to play this game, and here's what I'll say about the stealth missions. They're basically a game full of MJ missions. And if you saw my review of Spider-Man 2, and probably my review of the first Spider-Man as well, you know that the MJ missions are like my least favorite levels in both of those games, as they are for most people. It's just stealth missions after stealth mission after stealth mission after stealth mission after stealth mission after stealth mission. It becomes boring after a while. I'm sorry, it does. And it really kills any hope of the gameplay portion really being that good, in my opinion, as far as playability and just overall enjoyment. As you guys might know, I'm not a huge fan of stealth missions. I've talked about it in many reviews, as well as like Spider-Man games, Wolfenstein 2, and this one I'll talk about here as well, and a few others. I don't like stealth missions as much as I just like going in and shooting up a bunch of bad guys or beating the crap out of bad guys, I find that much more exciting, much more captivating, and much more engaging than just stumbling around behind some cover and maybe getting a good lock on some enemies. That's if the invisible NPC that's off screen, that's spawned out of nowhere, doesn't spot you, and then you get automatically obliterated in 15 seconds. You know, that's just, you gotta do a little bit of luck here. Come on, you can't just be all skill here. What is this, real life? I don't know. And it's not like any of the other gameplay features in this game aren't any better than the stealth missions. I would say the cutscenes and the stealth missions make up about 90% of the game. The other 10% of the game is actually combat situations that you need to be involved in, and it is terrible. Oh my god, is it horrific. Where do I even begin? First off, the melee combat is probably one of the worst in any video game that I've ever seen in forever. Now, maybe, again, this was because I was just coming off of Spider-Man 2, but the fact that, like, there's so many specifications for kind of like the clickers or just the regular zombies or fighting humans in the game, it is just too much to unpack. And there's just too many, like, things to jump through. It is way too complicated to switch your weapon, especially in high combat situations. It is way too... The fucking gun doesn't really reload, and it gets you like 2 bullets per shot. What the fuck? And they'll take like 8 shots to die. It's not... The aiming is terrible. The gun selection is not even that great, in my opinion. There are some good ones, and they didn't need to be like that, like Fortnite level crazy for gun selection. But, you know, that's kind of my 2 cents on that. But this one's fine. I'm not critiquing that in any matter, but... It's just not, it is not anything that, you know, is really crazy, you know. And again, I'm just coming off of Spider-Man 2, so maybe my expectations were set too high. But that's just kind of how I feel. It was really a letdown. Granted, I didn't know what to expect, but... You know, when everybody's calling this like their top 5 game of all time... You know, I'm going to come in with some pretty high expectations when playing this game. That's all I'm saying. But, I mean, there's also some other things about this game that I would say. The game looks great. That's another thing I will say, good thing about this game. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on this, too, that the game looks great. Even for today's standards in 2013... It's a good-looking game. I cannot lie. I did play a remastered version. I did not play the original PS3 version. I played the PS4 remastered version, but still. And also, just this is a very, very minor complaint. But you have this main character in this game who's supposed to be like this very brute, intimidating guy. And you give him the name Joel. I'm sorry. I can't take him seriously after I learn his name. What the fuck? You couldn't have called him, like, Brutus or... Well, I guess Brutus would have been a little crazy, but... Tyson? No, not Tyson. Tyrone? You know, from We Fit? Yeah, that could have been a good name. I don't know. Anything except Joel. Joel to me seems like more of a mellow name, somebody more chill. Not what they're trying to epitomize in this game. I know it's a small complaint, but it's just kind of the gist that I was getting with the game. So my overall thoughts with the game. It's not a bad game. But it is far from one of my favorites. The story is really good. Like, I have to say, that beginning really threw me for a loop. I don't think any other game has really thrown, like, a wrench in, like, what I was This is when I usually look at a story. I do this for movies. I do this for books. I do this for video games. I do it for TV shows. I'm able to kind of... envision what the plot might be based off of storylines, structures that have followed in media's past. And in this game, really threw me off guard with that opening sequence of Sarah dying. I did not expect that at all. And everybody talks about the ending too. I think the ending's fine. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, does the ending really have? Does an ending that doesn't get people like contemplating, or does an ending that doesn't make people debate for 10 years? Does that mean it's bad? I don't know. It's just gripes and critiques and other things that I have. So, anyway, my final score for The Last of Us. This is going to be another controversial opinion. 7. That's the best I can do. 7 out of 10. There's just not a lot of actual gameplay. And the story is good, but it's not good enough to carry it higher. Sorry. That's just kind of my thoughts on it. So, that's going to do it for my review, though, of The Last of Us. Go ahead and rip on me in the comments section down below. And if there's any other points that you guys thought I should have talked about, let me know as well in the comment section down below. But until then, until next time, stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more game reviews and other awesome stuff. If you really want me to play the second one, I might buy it. I might. That's a heavy might. But until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.